We have this old saying in the asphalt maintenance world, it's called march or die. If you don't knock on doors, if you don't continuously knock on doors, you're never going to make the maximum potential that you could if you were knocking. So what we always recommend that you do, whether you're a seasoned sales person or whether you're selling for the first time, what we recommend that you do is follow our step-by-step process that we have here in the business blueprint to be able to achieve the maximum results. I arrive in the truck or car, I pop out of the car or truck on the driveway, I take a close look at the driveway and the surroundings. First of all, I look as to whether or not they've maintained their property. Forget about the driveway, but their property. Is it landscaped? Is their garden taken care of? Is the home taken care of? Has it been painted? Does it look like they actually keep the home in great shape? At the point that I see that they do, and I know that they've actually maintained their property, and they've got a sore-looking driveway, what I know is I have the opportunity to sell them at a higher level versus somebody who doesn't care about their property. So what I do is I drive down the street, I take a look at the surroundings, I pick out the addresses that look great, mark it down on a list, and I know that by the time I've reached the end of the street, I have X number of leads that are available to me on the street that can convert at the highest possible level. Here's what I do in order to convert them. I walk up the driveway, I take a look at the driveway very closely, I determine how many linear feet of cracks there are. I determine how many square feet there are on the driveway. A lot of the time we don't have measuring sticks and measuring wheels and so on, so what we'll do is we'll actually take a look at the number of cars that fit into a driveway. So as an example, a 2-car driveway, 1 car, 2 car, one in front of the other. That driveway, I know right off the bat for a 2-car driveway, I'm going to seal coat that and do minor crack repair, maybe 15 feet or 20 feet of crack repair for $125. No need for any measurements. And I know on that job, I've got around a $25 cost. I'm going to make $100 on that driveway, on that 2-car driveway. A 4-car driveway, for example, would have 2 cars side by side, 2 cars long, so 4 total cars that fit into a driveway. North American average size driveway is 600 square feet. That is a 4-car driveway. We'll charge $150. And you may ask, why only $25 more for 2 extra cars? There's no travel time. You're on the job site. You have your equipment out to be able to do the job effectively and efficiently. So I look at that driveway again, determine the amount of cars that fit into it, come up with a price in my mind according to what I've learned over the years, which you're learning right now in the business blueprint. I walk up to the door. I knock on the door or ring the bell. We know that if you're standing right in front of that door, that can be intrusive to the person answering the door. This is their property. They've got their guard up. Step away. Give them space and the opportunity to make eye contact with you. And make sure that you're looking them back in the eyes. And introduce yourself properly. As an example, the very first asphalt maintenance company that I started with a 5-gallon pail of sealer and a paint roller, I introduced myself as follows. Hi, I'm Judson Burden. I'm the owner of Imperial Asphalt Maintenance Incorporated. I'm here in the area with our trucks, and we have product in our area to be able to go ahead and seal coat and do any crack repair on your driveway. Have you ever considered repairing the driveway that right now is cracked and grayed out and oxidized? I see that you've taken great care of your property here. We'd love the opportunity to be able to work with you. Would you mind taking 2 minutes and come out to the driveway and I'll show you exactly what we can do at this time. At the point that I get the client out on the driveway, most cases they do walk out and come out on the driveway with us because again, it is their property. They've seen the cracks. They've seen that it's grayed out. They want to maintain it. I mean, if they've maintained their gardens, they want to maintain their driveway. They may not even know that there's companies that service like I do. So at the point that I get them on the driveway, I show them the cracks. I help them understand that if water gets into the cracks, freezes and expands, let's say you're in a cold climate, freezes and expands, causes more damage. Or if you're in a warm climate, the water will seep down into the crack, it will start to erode the foundation, and they'll end up with a pothole. We need to create some kind of, not a fear, but an understanding with the client that things can get worse if they don't maintain it. And that's what we're there doing. I look for the cracks, the areas that may be alligator cracked, where there's several cracks in one particular location. I educate the homeowner about what's going to happen if they just leave this investment sitting there to erode and decay over time. I walk up to the footing, the foundation where their garage meets the asphalt driveway. There's always a seam along that concrete border that meets the asphalt. And the majority of the time you have a crack that runs from that footing all the way to the center drain inside of their garage. And you know why? Because water gets down along the side of the foundation. It erodes, creates a hollow space. The foundation, the concrete foundation can no longer hold that support and looks to shift, and it buckles. So let me ask, if we were standing there with a client right now, and we were pointing out a crack in their foundation where their family sleeps every single night, their home, and that crack's there because that seam between the concrete and asphalt has not been sealed ever in the history of that home being built up until today. So imagine you are now able to not only point out the sore spots on the driveway, but you're also pointing out some damage that has taken place to the home because the driveway was not properly maintained. So I sell a foundation seal. It's a $25 foundation seal that goes between the asphalt seam that meets the concrete, and it costs you around $1.50. So as a contractor, we all know that when you walk away from just doing that one seam, you've already made $18 off of that first fill. Then you're charging $1 a linear foot for crack filling on the driveway. So if you have 50 feet of cracks, there's $50 worth of crack fill. A homeowner will never seal coat their driveway without doing the crack repair. That would be like going to the dentist and getting teeth whitening done, but really you have decay. And so how can you get teeth whitening done if your teeth are decayed? Same thing with the driveway. We want to take care of all of the decay, all of the pieces that are actually going to cause damage to the core foundation of their investment. People understand that once you have them out on the driveway and you've pointed out all of these things and the solutions that we are now able to offer as a service provider. It's important to tell the client on the job that you have a truck in the neighborhood. Great news. We've got a truck in the neighborhood. We've got staff working the truck right now, specialists that apply the sealer and do the crack filling. They can come over here in 15 or 20 minutes, and because the truck's already in the neighborhood, we're offering a community rate of $150 for your 4-car driveway versus $175. And what I'll do is I'll throw in an extra $20 worth of crack filling at no cost. I'll do that for free. Or you could say I'll throw in the seam seal between the foundation and the driveway. The whole key here is for you to understand that the margins are so large in this business that you can afford to give up 10 feet of cracks at no cost in order to convert the client into being a customer of yours for life. I'll tell you, generally when you do one driveway in a neighborhood or on a street, you'll end up with the other neighbors coming out to check out what's going on because they'll hear the seal coating engine running. Well, the great news is those are all potential leads as well, right? If you can get them out and to see a job actually happening in front of their eyes, the chance of conversion is incredible because it's a live demonstration. A tablet is great to show video and before and after photos of to potential clients, but actually having them see you doing a job for a customer that they know is way more valuable. A lot of the time, if we're dealing with a slow sales period, we'll have the truck come into the neighborhood and I'll talk about how we want to offer a super duper deal. We call this the neighborhood demo job. So the neighborhood demo job is basically your easel of art, so to speak, to allow you to convert new clients. So what we do is we say to Sue, let's say Sue Robinson, we'll tell Sue Robinson that because we're in the neighborhood and that you're the very first job on the street, and we're confident that if we do her driveway, that we'll be able to do many other driveways in the neighborhood. And again, our main mission is to provide a service that's going to save homeowners time and money and to also increase the aesthetic value of the property. So Sue Robinson, of course, is very interested because it's a demo job that you've taken 50% off the price. Now, think about this. $150 is what we would charge for a 4-car driveway. Too long, too wide. You could discount that 50% and offer this as a demo job, $75. Do you know what your cost is on that? Your cost is only going to be around $20 to $25 on that job. So even at $75, which is 50% off the $150, you're still going to walk away at the end of the day with $50 in profit. So if you're able to offer a demo job, make a profit and have that art or that demo piece, so to speak, for all the other neighbors to see. From my experience in the industry, I'll tell you, once I do one driveway in a neighborhood, I usually end up doing 12, 15, 20 driveways in a neighborhood. So a lot of the time in these cases, when you do have a demo job, you'll attract your leads and you have the opportunity to convert them right then and there in front of the job that you're working on. You may be wondering about what you should do if somebody isn't home and you're wanting to talk to them about the truck being in the neighborhood and you being able to provide asphalt maintenance services. Do you not knock? Do you not walk up the driveway? Do you not even look at what you would quote on this job? I'll tell you the answer, you do. Every single home needs to get touched on. Any home that has an asphalt driveway that requires some maintenance. If it's a brand new paved driveway, it's not in need of it. If it's a driveway that looks slightly oxidized and gray with some cracks in it, or maybe some grass growing out of cracks, or grass is overgrowing the edge, that's a perfect lead for you. You want to walk up the driveway, you want to quote it, you want to take some notes on it, on your little quotation form, or your sorry we missed you door hanger, which is also found in our resource center here in our Build Your Own Business Blueprint. Leaving that sorry we missed you door hanger is literally hung on their door handle. It's not in their mailbox. The mailbox is the mailbox. Let me ask you what you do with the mail in your mailbox. You sort through it, you look for the envelopes that mean something to you, the rest, what do? Throw it in the garbage, right? So do I. In this case, if you have a sorry we missed you door hanger with a quotation right on the doorknob, in order to open that door, they have to see that sorry we missed you door hanger. So you have a company logo, you've got your company name, and you also specify that you're a local business. Being local is very important. Your chance of conversion for local business is much higher than if you traveled to towns that were hundreds of miles away. It's very, very different. Your best opportunity is to work locally and build that local trust. The sorry we missed your door hanger will always give people the opportunity to see your brand and your phone number. You go back a couple days later and you walk up to the door, you knock on the door, and if the people are home, you can actually say, hey, I'm Judson from Imperial Asphalt Maintenance Incorporated. We stopped by 2 days ago and we left you a sorry we missed you door hanger. Did you happen to see that? And if they say yes, you say, fantastic. Well, here is what we're offering. And you go through the process of taking them out on the driveway and selling them the services that you're offering. I started with a 5-gallon pail and a paint roller. I was the guy who did the jobs after I had sold them. So I was the guy doing both, labor and sales. My strength was in sales, not in the labor. I was able to hire laborers to work the jobs and be paid on a per driveway basis. They weren't paid hourly. I had no risk at that point unless I sold the job. And I'd pay them $15 each. There were 2 guys, $15 each to do the work. I started with these 5-gallon pails, 2 laborers, myself selling door to door. It worked great. The only thing was that a lot of the time I was only able to sell, let's say, 6 or 7 driveways in a day. Yeah, it's still $600 or $700 in profit in a day. But I wanted to scale. I wanted it to grow larger. And so what I did was I started looking at where I could find additional salespeople that had sales talent like I did. I put an ad in the local paper. I said, seeking asphalt maintenance sales specialist, no experience needed. Please call me to discuss this opportunity with my phone number. You can earn between $100 and $200 per day working 8 hours a day. And the way I compensated the salespeople was not through an hourly basis and not through a per job basis, but basically through a commission structure that made sense to the company and to the sales staff. 20% commission on a $150 job is $30. $30 on a driveway as a commission, multiplied by 7 driveways that they would sell on average per day, is $210. $210 in commission these salespeople were earning on a daily basis. They were out for 5-6 days a week. As long as that sun was shining and the weather was good, we were out making money. The neat thing was I set incentive programs where if they sold $2,000, I would immediately up their commission to 30%. Salespeople loved that. The type of salespeople I looked for were folks that were looking for a second job or a second career, looking to get out into the outdoors, and it could be somebody that retired from a particular job and is looking to go and make some additional money with no stress attached to it. They're not going into an office cubicle. They're not having to drive around in traffic. They're literally coming around with the truck, knocking door to door and making $210 a day, 6 days a week. Over $1,000 a week in commission before the incentive bonus structure. We got a lot of calls. We hired a lot of people. It's very important that you're clean cut, that you're wearing a company shirt with a logo on it, maybe a baseball cap with your company logo on it as well. I do recommend branding yourself properly because that creates credibility and also creates brand recognition for the client. It's very important at the same time that your equipment is all very clean and tidy. You don't want hoses hanging out of the back of the truck, etc. You want to make sure you have a nice clean hose reel with the hose wrapped nicely on the back, that you don't have garbage bags swinging outside the back of the truck, and also that you've got decals and stickers, company stickers on your truck with your phone number showing to the client that you're not afraid to present your brand and your phone number on a truck at a job site that you're at. Social media is an absolutely incredible way of generating leads as well, but it's also great for keeping in touch with your existing customer base. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you can ask your clients whether they'd mind if you'd post some before and after photos of their job. Of course, you're not going to have their address in those social media venues, but it's very important to have your before and after photos, services that you provide, your company phone number, your website. The more exposure that you have, the better it is for you. But not only is it better from a lead generation and loyalty perspective, it's very important to show new customers that you're not afraid to expose yourself. A website, being on Facebook, and all of the other places that you can have this exposure will only increase credibility over time and will allow you to earn more money. Yellow Pages is a great place to list your company and your phone number. Mention in your Yellow Page ad, if you can, free estimates available. Have that in the Yellow Pages. You'll drive more leads through there as well. So you see, the key here for all of this is to generate as many streams that you possibly can that pull in the leads into your phone number, into your email, into your website to communicate with you. The more leads you generate, the more money you earn. There are two different things I don't recommend that you do from an advertising perspective. One is direct mail, and the other is lawn signs. We get a lot of clients that come in and ask us whether or not a lawn sign will make a difference from a marketing perspective. The answer is the lawn sign can work. It will work. The issue is it will cost you a bunch of time and money. And in this business, you have to spend the time determining what's going to give you the best results. Lawn signs are great once they're stuck into the lawn, but the only thing is you cannot take the loss of just having the client throw that lawn sign out in the garbage. You'd have to go back to the client's door with a truck or car, with a person, to go collect the sign, put it in the back of the vehicle and leave and drive wherever you're going next. This can be very timely. In the asphalt maintenance world, time is money. The more time you can spend actually providing the asphalt maintenance services means the more money in your pocket. So if you're strapping an attention ribbon up at the bottom of a driveway and putting some brochures or flyers stapled to it, you do that all in one shot and you never have to come back for it because the paper copies that you've attached to the ribbon, there's virtually no cost to that. It's we're talking cents versus $100. In regards to the actual direct mailing, it can be very, very expensive to do direct mailing. I've given the best advice on how to convert clients, and that's really the door-to-door and through referrals and through marketing through the online channels like the social media outlets, through your website, and through Yellow Pages. Don't waste your time with the direct mail and signs. I don't recommend it. Allow yourself to have the full freedom of running and operating your business exactly the way it needs to operate to maximize your profits. Creating lists of people that you follow up with is critical. Storing that information in a customer management system is crucial. Making sure you have the right email template set up to be able to send out to them as follow-ups later on in time, which we all have right here in our Business Blueprint Center. That will allow you to achieve maximum results, and here's why. Knocking on doors, you may do 10 to 15 driveways a day. That's what I did. But imagine every spring or every season, you had a whole list of clients that you had called back, that you actually phoned and set up all the resprays for. And you had, let's say, 30 or 40 clients, and you would go back and spray their driveways for $100. You're going to profit tremendously. That's your opportunity to now grow on year 2 and 3 into having a second rig. You'll have one rig, which will become part of your fleet. That one rig will be out generating new business. The second rig will be out respraying jobs and taking care of your customers that are loyal to you, your repeat business. That's exactly what I did. I ended up building a fleet of trucks over time. It took time to do. The first year, I made a tremendous amount of money, a return on the investment. I was very, very satisfied with what I achieved. But I wanted to do it bigger and better. And that took time. And I've been through that whole learning curve, that experience of building a fleet and doing it the right way. And if you follow us right here and you continue through this process with us, we'll teach you how to do it too.